Hi everyone, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So today I am going to do some crackle effect coasters. So I've only got some small coasters. I'm waiting for bigger molds to come. Where did I put them? There they are. So this is the effect that I am going for. It's hard to often see, but it's like there's all crackles that are going in there. I've got another coloured one here. So that one there was turquoise and amethyst. This one here was sangria and a black, but the black didn't really show through a lot. So I'm going to try and do it slightly different this time, but I'm going to do, well, when I say black, it's actually steel, which is a very dark grey. So I'm going to do steel and electric blue today and see how they go. So they just get these beautiful effects that come through them. So that is the plan. Now, what I have done is I have mixed up my resin. I've mixed even parts of A and B. So this resin that I'm using is called resin. It's just from a local resin shop here in Western Australia. So I'm probably got a little bit more resin than I need, but I can do some other things with it as I go. So what I want to do is just add some into my cups. So I've got 1 cup here. That's probably plenty, I think. Oops, sticks in the wrong cup. That's probably enough. Second one. I kind of want these to be relatively even. Yeah, they're pretty even. And then a third one. So this third one actually doesn't have to be as much when I've actually got more. Still a little bit too much. How's that? One more little bit out. There we go. So this one that doesn't have as much in it is for my white. So my white is just epoxy pigment. This is again just from another local art store, well, resin shop actually. And my pigments, electric blue from artisue and steel from artisue. So what I'm going to do is mix those first. You always want to try and do your micas first because they would take, you want them to be completely dissolved. So I'm going to do one of that and then another half. So there's not a lot in there really. It was probably about one. Here's my other cup. I hope you guys can see this. I tried zooming in so it was a bit easier. So it's virtually 1 centimeter at the bottom, a heap, and then 1 centimeter from the bottom, a smaller heap. And then we stir those in, start off gently. So the order I'm going to put these in is I'm actually going to put this darker colour in first, and then I'm going to put the blue over that, hoping that gives me more of a steel coaster with blue electric veins. That is the plan. Okay, so that one there's mixed in, so now I'm going to do this one. I will stir these a second time before I actually start doing the artwork. I mean, doing the resin. I always stir these in first, then give them a bit of a chance to settle and possibly any dry bits or bits that haven't mixed in properly come to the surface, and then I can stir them in a second time. I'm actually thinking I might put a little bit more resin in those two. So I'm just going to give a scoop and then a couple of drizzles. There, I can stir those two again in a minute. Now with my resin paste, I will put my, this pop stick is a normal one, but it's just been broken a little bit, so it's a bit thinner, but that's actually good. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir, because they're really thick. Just want it mixed in a little bit. Now, I'm just dabbing the excess onto the edges, and then just what's on that spoon, which is probably more than I need, is just going to be what I put in here. So it's not completely opaque, it will be a semi-transparent. It will look opaque, but it will have a slight tinge to it, which I can tell means it's not completely solid. So I'm just going to scrape the sides of my stick onto the cup, just so there's no chunky solid bits. So the white paste isn't opaque, but because I'm only putting a tiny bit in, it gives it a bit of a transparent look to it, which it's actually a lot darker than I was planning for. Mix that in really well. Pardon me. So I'm going to have too much resin here already. I know I am. That's just how it's going to work out. But that's okay, because I have some... I've always got ideas that I can do. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, that's mixed in well as well. So, we've got them. And I always stir it just before I start pouring, so I'll get another little stir. Turn these over. I keep them upside down because they always seem to get dust in them. Now with this, we just want to pour a little bit of a base in there. That should be plenty. Now with that, I am just moving it around. Where's my gloves? Sorry everyone, you should always wear gloves when doing this. I'll put it on now. So yeah, just coating the base completely with this clear. There we go. Now, with this, what I want to do, There's a little bit there, hasn't gone into the corner. There we go. Now, from here, what we do is give our mica resin a stir. And then let's pour in a bit of this. That's probably enough. There we go. So that's our base. Now from there we want to pour in, I normally have a transparent colour too. I might just go a little bit of the clear, not much. Want that straight down in the centre. I normally do a transparent colour in between, but I don't actually have one that was going to match these as good as I was planning. So the clear will be fine. Now we get our white. And then we pour a little bit of white into that. Just a little bit more in that one. That's okay. Then we get our blue. Give that a stir. As you can see, I'm stirring most things before I start pouring, just so they're fresh and mixed in. Now I'm just going to go the black straight over the top of that blue. Normally I would do it a little bit differently, but let's go this way. Then I'm not going to bother with the clear again, I'm just going to go the white over this. Even though I made the white less, I'm going to end up with way more of it than I planned. Well, I'm going to have leftover white, but that's fine. Then our blue. Can't put in too much of the blue this time. I have to stop there. Just stop there. Now, I need to add clear, but you don't want to overflow these, so I've got to be a little bit careful. So you want to pour this straight over the middle, the clear, until your molds are full. Alright, that's doming. I've got to stop. Okay, that's doming. I've got to stop. So when I say it's doming, what it means is that the mold's full and you're starting to get a slight, well, that could probably do with a tiny little bit more. I don't want to add too much more because the reactions are already starting. You don't really want to affect the way that the reactions are doing. Okay, now what's going to happen is that's pushed those colours out, but they're going to get pushed back in again. so you can see movement and things happening. Now I've got leftover stuff. I'm going to quickly start adding some into these. So again, put down a bit of clear. I might as well make a couple of pieces of jewellery while I've got everything out. I've definitely got more than enough clear here. Now I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm not going to have as much black, or steel I should say. So I'm just doing what I did before, just adding it in as a layer. Scrape a little bit more. Sorry about the scraping noise, I just want to get as much of this colour out as I can. Might have to use that one. See if I can get any in this one. Not much. Alright, I'm going to leave that there. Now we're going to add a little bit of white into them. Now I've got some blue. So this is just using up excess resin. It's not actually me trying to do anything specific. I just think, why waste it if I've got it? So I might as well just make up some bits of jewellery. And I'm trying not to take too long to do this because everything's going to start thickening up and then it doesn't behave the same way. that's about all as I'm going to get out of those. So now I need to add a little bit of white into these ones that I've only got blue. Now I'm just going to do a couple of tests. I've done one test. I've just got this one mold that has nothing in it, so I'm going to add white. So see how these are closing up? Now I've just got clear. Just going to add that into these until they're full. And just hope we get the same type of effects. Oh, that's going to be too full. Come on, stop dripping, stop dripping. So even if these smaller ones don't give the same effect, I just want something. And if they don't look any good, that doesn't matter, because I wasn't going to use I didn't have anything else to use the resin on anyway. So this way it's not getting just completely wasted, it's getting used to some degree. There. Alright, they'll all have to just do, oh, that one there could do it a tiny little bit more. I think I'm making more of a mess than anything else actually. So that's that, but I've still got way more resin left over. So I've got these butterflies that I've been doing. All as I'm going to do is just use my dropper, which I've had to keep cutting because I keep using up, like resin keeps getting set in it. And I just put these into this cake mold of, well, chocolate mold of butterflies. And then from here I just use alcohol inks just to colour it. And then I've just got something else that I can use in another future project. So at least now I'm worked out how much resin I've made up too much. So I made up in total 225. So that's too much for this project. Okay. So I've still got a fair bit of resin extra. So I am going to pause the video, see how they've closed up more. I'm going to pause the video, use this excess resin in something else, and then come back and show you once I've finished doing that part. Okay, won't be too long. Alright, I'm back. So, there we go everyone. I have done so the main thing I wanted to do was the coasters. They have closed right up. If I look from the side, I can see there's stuff happening, but it's really one of these things you've got to wait until tomorrow when I unmold them to see what's actually happened. I am going to give them a spray with isopropyl alcohol. I don't want to torch them. I'm just going to give everything I've done just a little spritz. Probably not the butterflies, there's no point because that's going to be the back of them anyway. And there's alcohol inks in there, they'll start reacting like these ones did when I sprayed them. But ultimately, these are the ones that I want to see. So the back is, what we're seeing is the bottom of the coaster. When we turn it over is what you will see from the front. So I don't know exactly how they're going to turn out until they have set. So that's a waiting game. All of these little pendants, again, they are just tests. I just had extra resin. Why not use it up and see what happens? What I did the last time when I did the red ones, I did these and I got similar effects, probably not as defined. I think I put a little too much of the transparent colour in there, but they're still giving me some pretty cool looking pendants. They look really good out in the sunlight. So this is just a waiting game, see how it all turns out and have some fun. And I went to put alcohol ink in one of these butterflies and realised I hadn't put resin in there, so that was hilarious. But yeah, I'll let you know how these go. So you'll see these two coasters in the main photo, the thumbnail, because I haven't been able to put videos combine them yet. But you'll see these, the pendants and that I'll probably show in a different video soon, just to show you how they turned out or what they look like. The butterflies are just normal, I've had them before. They are just alcohol ink and they come out quite cool. They get, you know, when you put the white over the top and it drops, you kind of get that effect. These are just something I'm going to use in a future project. I just make them up every time I have excess resin. I just make butterflies up, so I've got a whole bunch of them. I'm going to get some different animal prints or different molds so I can do other things. And yeah, that is about it. Hopefully everything turns out, and I'll see you soon for another pour. But yeah, like normal, so comment, like, share and subscribe. And if you want to try this, it's lots of fun. Just don't skimp. I don't put too much of the powder in, but I don't put too little in either. Because when I put too little in once, it didn't seem to work. So for the amount of resin I used, I just put 1.5 little scoops in. If you're doing big ones, I would put a bit more in. So yeah, and test it out and see how you go. Alright, thanks everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon for another pour. Okay, bye.